Hello, we are back again for another episode of Fusion. I've absolutely loved the recipes we've had so far, which I would say because I made them. Today's a good one. Today we're going all the way to France, stop off in the Basque region, en route to India. Not a common combination that you see, but I think it could work. Today we're making a ChanaMoulesSala. ChanaMoulesSala. You get? It's a play on words. Chana masala, but also with some mussels through it, which is moules. ChanaMoulesSala. The dish works just as well as the name works, and I think you're gonna love it. Fragrant, quite deep and rich, but with the delicacy of a moule marinière. As I said, we're going to 3 places. Now the first, France, moule marinière, an absolute classic, and we're going to be using some of the techniques in that to create the base of the dish. And then we go to the Basque region. There's a Basque mussel stew that has butter beans in it and mussels that have been cooked out. I want to take that combination of beans or pulses and mussels together because I think the textures work quite well. And then obviously the base of the dish, chana masala, is what's going to create our curry-like flavour, our curry-like texture. And we'll mop all of that up with some lovely parathas. I reckon we get cracking. Now in the first step of this dish, I'm going to teach you a little lesson on mussel preparation. These guys have been sitting in salty, cold water for a while. Mussels are alive, right? And we can mimic their natural environment if we put them in cold, salty water. And as soon as you do that, they start filtering themselves out. They are the filters of the ocean, so that's what they want to do. That water was clean before, and I've managed to get out all the crap from the mussels by letting them do it themselves. And we're going to look for 3 things now. Number 1, we're going to look for any mussels that haven't closed when they've been in this water. We're going to get rid of them because they're probably dead. Number 2, any mussels that are broken because they will make you ill. Get rid of that. And the third thing is we're going to take off any impurities like these barnacles, and sometimes they'll have a little beard poking out of them. So with the beards, you just pull them off. That one's broken, bin it. And then with these barnacles, all you do is take a butter knife and you just scrape them off. All gone. Perfect. The base of this dish is going to be very similar to most curries that you see. We're going to have onion, garlic and ginger running through it. When you're prepping an onion, leave the skin on until you cut it in half because it's so easy to peel. See how easy that comes off. We're going to dice these onions. I use my thumb and my little finger to hold it all together, and I claw the other 3 fingers because then the knife will just run along them, along the knuckle. If I'm going to cut anything, it will be my nail, and that will hurt a lot less than if I cut my finger. That's the only bit of waste we have, that little nub. Prepping ginger is so much easier than you think. Grab yourself a teaspoon and just scrape it. There's no point using a knife for this because you end up wasting lots of it. I actually find it's much harder to get around the natural curves and nooks and crannies of ginger with a knife than it is with a little teaspoon. Low waste, easy, efficient prep. That is what we're all about. You can grate this ginger, and in fact I am going to grate it. It's easier, it's quicker, it's more efficient. This dish can come together probably in half an hour. It is the perfect weeknight meal after a long day at work. And finally, we'll do the exact same thing with the garlic cloves. It's just so much easier. The one thing to remember though is if you're going to be grating your garlic and your ginger, you have to adjust when you put them into the pan. Garlic and ginger that's been grated will burn really easily if you do that. Cooking is as much about process and preparation as it is about actual heat. So right now we have got our, what we call a mise en place. So we've got our chopped aromatics ready to go. We've got our beautiful spices all weighed out, ready to go. The mussels are prepped, clean, and good to go in the pan, and all of our ingredients are sitting here within reach. So then when you get the heat on, it's just a bit of a dance. You're just flowing, you're picking up what you need, it goes in at the right time, and that's what makes cooking enjoyable. That's how you take away the stress. It doesn't matter if you're not in a professional kitchen. Try and get prepped before you need to put the heat on. Wise words. Some may call me a guru. Some may say I'm chatting absolute shite. Right, you remember what I taught you about stainless steel pans before? We want to get them up to temperature. To tell whether they're up to temperature, we put a bit of water in it. If it beads, we're all good. If it hisses, we need more time. Once they're up to temperature, bring them right back down to whichever temperature you want to cook at. Yes, it takes a bit of preparation. Yes, it takes a bit of patience, but it's so worth it because they're such fantastic pans. When you're choosing a good stainless steel pan, you want a nice heavy bottom. This one has got heavy bottom, I'm not going to touch it because it's very hot. That means it retains heat really well. Add a decent amount of oil to the pan, and then we're going to go in with our seeds. Black mustard seeds, and we've got cumin seeds. These are a great indicator of heat and a great indicator of when we go in with the next step. Once the mustard seeds start to spit, you know that they've got to the right stage, and we want to kind of cool the pan down slightly by adding in the next step. If you take them too far and they keep going at that stage, they can burn and get quite bitter. Now, these curry leaves, they don't look as vibrant as the freshest ones. And there's a reason for that. You can go get curry leaves in big bags at your local Southeast Asian supermarket. Every town has one. If you don't think you've got one, send me a message, I'll find it for you. They always come in big bags, and often they can go off if you leave them in the fridge. But what you can do is put them straight in the freezer, and then you pull them out when you need them and they go straight in the pan. You don't need to defrost them or anything. That is the beauty of them. They keep their flavour. Yes, they lose a tiny bit of their vibrancy in colour. The flavour's there, the fragrance is still there, and that's all we need. Can you hear that those seeds are starting to pop? So then we can go in with our curry leaves. We can also go in with our onions. Now usually this is when I put the garlic and the ginger in as well. Because it's been grated, it will burn, and it'll also add a moisture to the pan that I don't want at the moment. So we'll let this cook off before we do that. Now is a great time to start seasoning. Season your onions, it brings out a lovely flavour in them. That's got a lovely bit of colour to it, so we're going to go in with our garlic and ginger. Mix everything around, go in with our curry powder and a touch of turmeric. So far, we are very much within that Indian inspiration. We've built it with classic aromatics. That bright yellow colour is what we know and love with the Chana Masala. But now we're going to pull it back a little bit, back to France and back to Basque. Let's deglaze this pan with a bit of dry white wine. It will add body, it will reduce to add acidity, and it goes so well with the mussels. The white wine takes this dish from being a curry to something that's a little bit more sophisticated. It just gives it a new dimension. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring things together and bring new dimensions to dishes that we think we already know. A lot of food's been done before. Let's try and mix it up a little bit. We want the wine to completely reduce. I don't really want much liquid left in here at all when we put the mussels in, because the mussels will release some of their liquid as well. It'll be way too watery. That sauce is really reducing down now. We have pretty much taken away most of the wine. So let's drain our mussels. They're just sitting in some cold water, nice and clean. And we're gonna add them straight to the pan. Give everything a good mix. And then we'll pop a lid on that. And we'll leave the mussels to steam 4 or 5 minutes and they'll open up. The smells coming out of here are pretty bloody good. Pretty bloody good indeed. I don't know why I expect anything else, to be honest. It always smells good. Clean as you go, guys. Keeps you happy, keeps you sane to an extent. I've actually given them a little bit less time because we don't want them to be completely cooked, because we're actually going to take them out and put them back in the sauce. So they're going to be double cooked, and overcooked mussels aren't very nice. At this stage, what you're looking for is making sure that they're all open. Any that haven't opened, they need to be binned. Any that look a bit green, like that one, I'm probably going to get rid of. We're actually just going to fish the mussels out. Try not to take any of the sauce or the onions and stuff if you can, because we want that to remain in there. We've got this wonderful sauce here that is now going to be flavoured with the beautiful taste of the sea and the mussels. Oh, I told you that the mussels would release their own liquids, remember? No. Now we've got to go in with our chickpeas. Who seals these jars? Christ. Anna, can you open this, please? We actually might have to do a curried more mariniere because I can't even open this. Honestly, what am I going to do? Nice. Straight in with our chickpeas. Oh God. Okay, mix those guys in. Get them simmering. And then we'll go in with a touch of coconut milk. Now, you know when you open coconut milk and at the top it's really lovely and thick? I only want that. I know it might seem like a bit of a waste getting rid of the water, but really that is the good stuff. I don't want to dilute out all the beautiful flavours we've just been building. So 2 tablespoons of that is enough. Lovely. Mix that all in. Bring that up to simmer and we'll let that do its thing. Let's clear down a bit and we'll prep those mussels. I still want to be able to eat this dish as a curry. I want to be able to scoop it up with parathas or naans, or even pour it over a load of rice. So what I want to do is get rid of these shells. I know they're probably quite nice to look at. I know that You could probably present this quite nicely if the shells are still on, but it's not that conducive with scooping it all up with a nice bit of paratha. I want this to be homogeneous with the chickpeas. So we'll get rid of the shells, easy job. The liquid that's left over in that bowl, get it straight back in, don't waste any flavour. Here's a little trick to thicken up this sauce. We're gonna take out some chickpeas, maybe a few tablespoons, and then the idea is to squash them with the back of a fork so they get into a paste. Really squash them all down. So you create this paste like that, and that goes straight back into the pan, and it will thicken the sauce. So you don't need to wait for it to reduce for too long. And immediately, can you see that sauce thickened up? Perfect. A little tip, just a tip. It's not very appropriate, I don't think. And then once you've got that to the consistency you want it, the mussels go back through to be warmed through. I'm also going to chop up some lovely coriander leaves to add a bit of freshness just at the end. But coriander is very much preference, so you do not need to put this in if you don't want to. Final thing, wouldn't be one of my recipes without it. Touch of lime juice, lift it all up. Half a lime will do. We don't want too much of this. Oh, beautiful. Now all that's left to do is prepare whatever accompaniment you want with it. If you want rice, I'm gonna have some paratha. They are the best accompaniment of any curry. And there we have it, ChanaMoulesSala. Some lovely flaky paratha. ChanaMoulesSala, not just a great play on words, also a very delicious dish. Luckily, because I only did it because it sounded good. Oh my God, that's absolutely divine. It's, how do I explain this? So it's like all the heartiness of a classic chana masala or any kind of Indian curry, combined with like that background delicate note of white wine and all the flavour that you get in any kind of seafood bisque. It really, really works. And the texture of the mussels, which are very soft, and then the little bite that the chickpeas have. It completely works. It completely works. And actually it's quite a cheap dish as seafood and meat goes. Mussels are relatively cheap. Chickpeas lovely and cheap. I'm gonna finish this entire bowl, it's so bloody good. I hope you agree that this has been another wonderful episode of Fusion. I'm blown away by how delicious this dish is. It's a dish that you can get into in any season, which is quite interesting. You know how you might not want to roast in the summer or you don't really fancy salads in the winter. I feel like this is something you could have at any time. It's got the essence of sitting on French Riviera with a glass of white wine, but it's also got getting your hands stuck in with some naans or parathas to a hearty curry when it's a little bit cold in the winter. It falls somewhere amongst everything. It's full of flavour, it's got lovely texture. Serve it with rice, serve it with naan, serve it with paratha, have whatever you want with it. It's absolutely delicious. This is ChanaMoulesSala, and this is something I'll be making a lot. Give it a go, let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share it amongst everyone, and I'll see you next week for something hopefully as delicious as this. I'm not even pausing to stop the recording.